Hello friends, welcome to knowledgewala.com. Thanks a lot for sharing your valuable comment with me. So today I'm going to present my last video for ant build commands for Kuram application. So this video will contain some generic file changes and it's supporting build targets. So here I will represent some kind of files. If you are changing those files or updating or adding new files of that type, what kind of build command you have to run in order to reflect your changes in your source code and application. So first of all, I will talk about application.prx file. So application.prx file is very important in Kuram. So there's a one file called application.prx. So its extension is .prx file. So exactly it is a properties file which is having some constants which you are using in your application across the EJB component. So why we are adding constant here in place of putting those constant in a Java file? We are not putting these constant in a Java file because if you are adding these constant in a Java file, that will be a static. So if you have any changes in those properties, you have to change your code and then redeployment is required for those changes. But whenever you are adding your constant with the values inside the application.prx file, it is a dynamic value. So you can change at the runtime environment. So Kuram is providing some kind of user interface using the sysadmin login. So once you log in with sysadmin, you will be able to change application.prx file content. So what this content? This content is basically a pure constant. Suppose you have some properties like no run streamer for one batch and you are setting value as a true. But at later point of time, you realize that value is not correct. You want to change that value. So what you can do, you just log in to the application using sysadmin and you can search that property which is being used and set the correct value and then publish using the sysadmin. Once you publish your changes will start reflecting immediately. But the thing is, whenever your server will restart, those changes will go. So there are some customization guideline which you have to follow whenever you are changing any value at runtime. So application.prx file is there whenever we are running some and build target. The data is going inside one table called properties. So you will get all your data inside this database table. So you can navigate your content of this application.prx file inside this properties table. So what kind of build target we have to run? So whenever you are changing or you are adding any content in this application.prx, you have to run one command that is called build insert properties. So once you are running this target build insert properties, it will upload data inside the properties table. So in a brief description, I can say whenever you are adding or changing in application.prx, you have to run build insert properties and target in Kuram application in order to reflect your changes. Okay, so I'm moving to the next topic that is called encryption. So you remember whenever you are setting your project, you got your database access user ID and password, but Kuram is not accepting plain password. It accept encrypted password, so you have to encrypt. So encrypt logic is available in Kuram, and also Kuram is providing one AND command, so you can easily encrypt your password and then use that password in your bootstraps.properties file. So here I am going to represent how you are encrypting your password. So there is a command. That command you have to run. So that command is nothing but you have to say build encrypt -d password equal to your database password. So my database password is sample. So I will say sample. So once you hit the enter button here, then it will generate the encrypted uh, format of this password sample. And then you can use that encrypted password in your bootstraps.properties file. Okay, so in a brief description, I can say whenever you want to encrypt your password, you have to use this command that is called build space encrypt space -d password equal to your password. So this is a dynamic here. So this will change and other things are static. So build encrypt -d password equal, this is a static, and sample is your password. Maybe some other person password is Dharmendra. So you have to put that password here and hit the enter button. It will generate encrypted version of your password. Okay, so I'm moving to the next topic that is called config test. Config test. So what is this config test and build target, and what is the purpose of this target? So as name indicates, config tests. So it is a basically configuration testing. So whenever you are changing, you are encrypting your password, updating your bootstrap.bat file, bootstraps.properties file, and your database is set up properly, and your all jars are available in your source code, like that jar, J2E jar and jar, and some kind of mail, Java mail jars. There are a lot of dependencies. If those setups are available in a proper way, then you can run. In order to test that uh, folder structure, or you can say your project configuration, you have to run command that is called build config test. So once you are saying build config test, then it will check your Kuram project configuration along with your database configuration. So it will try to log in your database, and it will uh, uh, execute some kind of select queries. So build config test is to check your environment, whether your environment is proper or not. So if you want to check your environment, you are setting Kuram in your local system first time. So you have to make sure your config test is passed successfully. Okay, so I'm moving to the next topic. That topic maybe I will discuss. I started discussing SAR rule set. So whenever you are having any changes in your SAR rule set, then what you have to do? So SAR is nothing but Kuram Express rule set. So if you have any changes in your SAR rule set, or you are updating any existing SAR rule set, first you have to validate your SAR rule set. To validate your SAR rule set, you have to run one command that is called build creole dot validate dot rule sets. So this is important here, rule sets. So once you are running this creole.validate.rule set, it will validate your rule set with the Quorum infrastructure schema. Once your validation is passed, then obviously you have to upload that rule set in your database table to start reflecting your changes. So in order to start reflecting your changes, you have to run build creole dot upload dot rule sets. So this command will upload your newly updated or inserted rule sets in the in its respected tables. Also, you can generate the HTML format of your rule set. So to generate HTML format of your rule set, you have to run one command that is called build creole dot generate dot rule docs. Rule doc, no s here. So just rule doc. So you are changing anything in your rule set, you have to run build creole.validate.rule set. To upload your rule set, you have to run creole.upload.rule sets. Suppose you want the HTML version of your XML file, your rule set, then you have to run build creole.generate.rule doc. So it will generate HTML format of your rule set. That's it for Ant build targets. So I completed all important build targets here in these tutorials. Please send me your valuable comments to improve further videos. Thanks a lot for supporting and watching videos on knowledgewala.com. Have a nice day.